You're watching the Standard Bank 5150 Bela Bela. The hot springs of Bela Bela's Warmbaths, a forever resort, offered a warm welcome to triathletes from across the globe as they lined up for the 5th Standard Bank 5150 Bela Bela Triathlon.
It means a lot for us as the community of Bela Bela, especially the municipality, because one of the things that we have committed ourselves was to ensure that we promote Bela Bela as a sporting destination of the province, but also to promote economy. 5150 is assisting us to do that. Everybody is here to make sure that people are feeling safe and welcome. It has shown that it has grown from the past 5 years. We hope to see many more people participating in the next year.
Just a short drive up the N1 from Pretoria, Bela Bela is the perfect venue for a competitive triathlon. With Warmbaths, a forever resort, the ideal host venue. The 1.5 kilometre swim takes place in the forever resort ski dam. The 40 kilometre bike along the hilly D10 Alma Road and the 10 kilometre run completely within the resort leading to the finish line. The pro and elite age group men and women got the action underway, starting the first of 2 laps around the ski dam. With the near perfect conditions, would they be challenging Jeff Norton and Lucy Reed's swim course records?
I started off far left of the field, actually about 20 meters wider than anyone else, just because of the pure fact that I am a little bit racing unfit. So I wanted to start off and be in my own space. So I got into my own rhythm at the beginning there. And then once we got to the first buoy, I kind of joined the pack. And then I just kind of stayed. I got into, I think there was 2 guys up ahead. And then I was in the second pack, and it was comfortable. It wasn't a hard swim. Last year was a bit of a horror year for me. So the swim started the horror, so I decided this year I'm gonna hold back a bit. So yeah, I think it worked out quite well.
The Warmbaths, a forever resort ski dam, makes for the perfect spectator venue for the swim, with the pro and elite athletes duking it out within meters of the supporters and age group athletes awaiting their starting orders. In the ladies' race, the pace was being set by Kieran Grenfell, who is mixing it up with the male swimmers, followed by race favourite and 2-time champion Andrea Steyn and Cindy Schulst. Whilst in the men's race, the swim leg was being led by Rudolf Nordier and Brad Edwards, who had opened up a small gap with Cobus Krier chasing hard. Clint Gravett was not far off the lead.
Yeah, actually at the end of the swim, someone started swimming just in front of me. I have no idea who it was, but he had a good rhythm going, and he was going relatively quick, a little bit faster than I was. So I sat in his feet, and it was for the last 400 meters. it was good fun.
Leading the field as he exited the water and running under the Standard Bank banner into T1 was Rudolf Nordier, followed closely by Brad Edwards. Exiting T1, Edwards is around 30 seconds back on Nordier as they headed out for the pike leg. The leading lady out of the swim was Kieran Grenfell.
Actually, I come from a swimming background, so that's like my thing, and I know that if I come out of the water in front, then with that lead, I'll have a good position on the cycle, and I know that I need to work on my cycle a bit more, which is why I need the lead for that. So I was very happy. Yeah, I think I was the first lady out of the water, which I was very happy with.
With the action hotting up in T1, third-placed woman Cindy Schwalst seemed to have had a minor issue on the swim, but she didn't let that slow her down, only a matter of seconds behind Andrea Steyn.
My goggles did fill up with water right at the start, so I couldn't actually see anything, just saw the buoys vaguely. So when I came out the water, I had no idea where I was, but when I came out, I saw Andrea was just ahead of me, and then I heard I was lying about third out of the women. It was a nice swim, enjoyed it.
Experienced Andrea Steyn negotiating T1 calmly as she set off after Grenfell. Moments away from starting the bike, misfortune befell Gerard de Bruin. His foot slipped into his wheel, lacerating his toes, forcing him to withdraw from the race, a painful end to his efforts.
So when I came out the water, I think I was 9th or 8th or 9th out the water. I knew it was going to be a bike, a hard bike for me, but I was still confident at that stage. The prime suspects were up the road, and I knew I could actually see them because there's quite a nice long uphill stretch where you can actually see quite far ahead. So I saw Rudolph and I saw a few of the other guys. So I knew if I just gritted my teeth and just went sort of quite deep into my pain threshold for a bit, for a couple of minutes, several minutes, I'd be able to slowly make inroads.
With the brain out of the race and Michael Davidson on the charge, Rudolf Nordier was looking comfortable on the bike, holding a good aero position. Behind Nordier on the road, the racing was close, fast and furious as the men jostled for position. Clinton Gravett now held second place, making the turn, followed by Freddie Lampert, Brad Edwards and Michael Davidson. In the women's race, Kieran Grenfell was losing time to Andrea Steyn and Cindy Schwalst.
Coming out of the water, I wasn't too sure how the cycle would go because I know that it's quite a mean cycle with the hills, and I know that's very hot out there. So I pushed it, but obviously the stronger athletes came flying past, and in the end it was okay.
Kieran Grenfell wasn't the only athlete noticing the stifling heat.
Well, into the bike it was really, really hot. When I looked at my speedometer it was 42 degrees, so and I just tried to hold quite a nice rhythm, and I caught Kieran about 6 or 7 k's into the bike, and I wasn't sure where Lauren was because I saw it at the start of the race and I didn't know if she was in front of me, but then at the turnaround point I saw I had a lead at that stage and I was in front of the race, so I could relax a little bit, but it was still tough, it was really, really hot out there.
While the pros and elite athletes were suffering in the blazing bushveld sun back at the ski resort dam, the age group athletes were awaiting their starting orders. For many, the Standard Bank 5150 Bela Bela Triathlon is their first taste of triathlon racing.
Well, I was actually at a family braai once, and I was explaining to somebody that I really felt like I wanted to do a triathlon, but I didn't have the diligence or determination to do it. And they suggested that there's a man called Derek who assists you, and there's a whole club thing and whatever it may be. So I contacted him on his cell phone, and that's basically how it transpired from there. And then I thought Bela Bela would be a race to do. Everybody talks very highly of it. They say it's a very fair race. They say it's a nice race for somebody who has never done something like this before. And they say it's a beautiful race, actually. So that was the main reason.
The warm waters of the Warmbaths of Forever Resort Ski Dam are an unintimidating setting for a first triathlon swim, and has helped build the popularity of the race. There are few sports which can offer the individual challenge of a triathlon or grant an equal sense of achievement. But with only the first leg completed, these age group athletes still had a lot of racing ahead in the energy-sapping conditions.
When you go from the swim to the bike and you get into the transition area, when you get to your bicycle, you almost want to just sit down and go, oh my gosh, what just happened? But then you've still got to think about the next thing. When you start pushing the bicycle, then you start thinking, okay, this is starting to become more and more real.
SA paracyclist and adventurer Irish Macheke was in T1.
If everybody can do something in their life, it doesn't matter what it is, but just as long as it motivates you and it gets you to that specific goal. Yes, Standard Bank's logo is very good. You've got to keep going, you've got to keep moving forward. Never stop. If you stop, you're dead.
He's very passionate about what he does, and he's very determined to finish whatever race. Even though, like now you saw him, he was far behind. He said to me, I'm going to finish the race. Whatever happens, I am going to finish. It's not about being the first or being the winner. You have to finish the race.
On the bike, the no drafting rule meant there would be no place to hide.
Often for me it depends on who's actually out there, who's competing, and how I strategize. You know, it's if there's extremely fast swimmers or very good bikers or very good runners, it alters my race strategy. I go what's called burning matches or going deep. I tend to sacrifice certain parts of the race in terms of my strategy to catch these. Either they're fast swimmers or they're fast bikers or they're fast runners. My races do depend greatly on who I race against. These ITU athletes are very fast, particularly in the swim. So, the non-drafting bike does help a long-distance athlete like me.
One man seemingly unaffected by the race plans of other athletes was the leader, Rudolf Nordier. Nordier had been riding solo in the lead whilst the battle for second unfolded on the road behind him. Currently occupying second, Michael Davidson held off moves by a number of riders, but Clinton Gravett seemed to have the measure and control to stay with Davidson as he chased Nordier. Then disaster struck for Nordier. His chain derailed and wedged between the small chainring and the frame of his bike. Taking advantage of Nordier's misfortune, the chasing pack flew by. This is the nature of triathlon. A result is never guaranteed, something professional athletes know all too well.
Unfortunately, panic changed. Big blade to small blade. Went in between the blades and the frame and it seems to be stuck, so unfortunately that's the day.
I realised Rudolf Nordier actually ended up pulling out, was quite far ahead, so I eased off to Brad Edwards, and then Marky and Freddie caught up, and then from there we kind of worked together. I think on the bike I wanted to push a bit, maybe the second lap. But things didn't work out that way. I was just more hanging on to the back of the pack.
With Nordier out, the men looked like they were saving themselves for a decisive battle on the run. The easing of the pace had allowed Brad Edwards to pass Gravett. Edwards and Davidson are now setting the tempo. In the ladies' race, Andrea Steyn was forging ahead. Cindy Schulst was leading the chase.
The cycle has got some nice rolling hills. I just really enjoyed the hills. I'm from East London, so I'm used to training hills. Strategy-wise, I think you just got to go as hard as you can and just try and close the gap. Or in the cycle you can sort of see where you are.
While Schulst was chasing hard to limit her losses to Steyn, Kieran Grenfell was struggling with the heat, losing her shape and aero position on the bike as she dealt with the mental blow of losing a water bottle in the tough conditions.
It was very, very hot out there, and I somehow managed to lose my water bottle, so I was a bit out of water. And so that affected it quite a bit because I was a bit, with the heat and everything, it was quite exhausting, and those climbs, and it was okay.
Andrea Steyn was making short work of the tough bike course. Cindy Schwartz too was looking strong and maintaining a good tempo. Compared to some age groupers, the pros hardly seem to suffer in the heat though, spending less than half the time on the course. Training for any triathlon is always key, as is joining a training group or club like Modern Athlete magazine's Dare to Try.
So Dare to Try is definitely the most awesome triathlon club to join. We train on the weekends together as a group for novices, people that have done it for years, whoever. It's meeting like-minded people. People don't always understand you, they think you're crazy. So it's great to get together with crazy people that are on your level, that are training together and pushing together. So I started the program 2 months ago and I've made so many new friends. It's the most awesome thing. It's so inspiring to see people from all walks of life. It's really not something that you would go to and see only top guys with the best bodies and the best ability. It's really normal people coming together to push themselves beyond the limits. And that's what's so amazing about triathlon.
Leading into T2 with the bike leg now behind him, and the 10k run ahead was Michael Davidson, followed by Brad Edwards. As Edwards and Davidson headed out for the run, Freddie Lampert and Clinton Gravett entered the transition together. Despite Davidson's lead, all four athletes were still in contention for the win. A quick glance at his watch to check the pace. Davidson had upped his speed.
Yeah, I felt very good. I think I came off the bike with just one other chap, also a young newcomer, and yeah, we ran sort of together the first sort of K, and I just upped the pace a bit and managed to get away, put a gap in, and then from there I just kept it at a nice constant pace, just over 3 minutes a K, I think it was.
The effort of trying to stay with Davidson took its toll on Edwards, with Lampert and Gravett having caught and passed the young triathlete from Springs. Who would make the first move?
The run, yeah, I went out of the run with Freddie. I know Freddie's a good runner. He ran some good times there at the 70.3 3 weeks ago. So I just kind of ran comfortable for the first 5k, and then picked it up. Actually, after 3k's, I saw Freddie had started falling off the pace a bit, so I gave a 500 meter push just to get a bit of a gap, and then got comfortable again, and then ran comfortable up until about 6k's, and started pushing for a k again, just to solidify my second place.
Heading into T2, Andrea Steyn had a commanding lead in the women's race, with Cindy Schwartz still in second as they headed out onto the run. It had been a tough bike leg for Grenfell, but she was hanging on to third place on the road.
Run route's nice, it's a lot of turns, around all the chalets. You don't really know how far the person is in front of you or how far they're behind you, because there are just so many turns. There's not like a straight section where you can see, okay, this is how far they are. But it makes the run more interesting, and I think also it doesn't feel quite as long when you're just not running in a straight.
Grenfell still looked to be struggling on the run, perhaps as a result of the fluid she couldn't take on the bike when she lost her bottle. But the heat was also stopping Andrea Steyn and Michael Davidson from chasing course records.
I'm not sure I was trying to break the course record again, but it's just one of those days. So I finished off strongly. It was a very hot. The heat was starting to increase, during the afternoon. So it was quite tough out there. But all in all, very nice course, very well organised event as always. And a really enjoyable event. I'd fully recommend it.
Having completed the 10k run in 33 minutes and 47 seconds, Michael Davidson claimed victory in the 2015 Standard Bank 5150 Bela Bela Triathlon, his first ever win in Bela Bela. Three and a half minutes down on Davidson, Clinton Gravett crossed the line in second place. In third, in a time of 2 hours, 5 minutes and 21 seconds, was Freddie Lampret.
I tried to just run comfortably, and on the second lap I saw that I made a bit of time. You know, you could see more or less out and back where you are. So I'm in the last 5Ks, I just relaxed and I could finish comfortably.
Andrea Steyn ran home to claim her third Standard Bank 5150 Bela Bela Triathlon title. Steyn is seemingly unstoppable in this race. In second, in a time of 2 hours, 17 minutes and 52 seconds, was Cindy Schulst. And in third place in the pro women's race was Kieran Grenfell. But the pros only make up a small percentage of the field. The real heroes are the age group men and women.
Thank you to each and every one of the athletes that participated today in the Standard Bank 5150 Bela Bela. It's been absolutely great to be here. Standard Bank is thrilled to be part of this experience. This is another first for Standard Bank, our first triathlon here in Bela Bela, and it's been absolutely amazing. We continue to be completely inspired by every one of the athletes. The partnership that we've created with the Ironman team, with the athletes themselves, with their supporters, and with the other sponsors that make this event such a great event has truly been inspiring for every one of us at Standard Bank. And we're dedicated and committed to this process for the long haul. We find it particularly inspiring that you, the athletes, get out there every morning and train as hard as you do to be able to complete this great race. You're able to inspire so many South Africans from all sorts of different walks of life. We love your relentless pursuit, never stopping, never stop moving forward.
In the Standard Bank 5150 Bela Bela Triathlon, as in life, the key is to keep moving forward. Congratulations to each and every finisher. This is what the Standard Bank 5150 Triathlon Series is all about. Digging deep, getting through the lows and experiencing the highs of crossing the finishing line. The inspiring thing is that anyone can do it. If you're up for the challenge, join us next year for the Standard Bank 5150 Bela Bela Triathlon or the Standard Bank 5150 Ekurhuleni African Championships in Germiston. You've been watching the Standard Bank 5150 Bela Bela.